I just finished watching the movie, The Map That Leads to You. I have my bingo card beside me. I have my notepad beside me. But what I just want to say is that I just want to start this off by saying that clearly the romance directors, the romance people, the romance filmmakers, they don't have any more stories to tell us. The stories have finished. Clearly, the stories have finished because you know what? I think they should come out and tell us because this movie is like a hodgepodge of like so many, from the tropes to the revelations to the things that are being said, the characterizations of the people. Like it's like a hodgepodge of all the tropes that we have come to know, and nothing really fresh. Nothing really fresh. The movie as its own, the pacing, I almost fell asleep. The only reason I didn't fall asleep was because the bingo card I was checking, the notes I was taking, and because I knew that this was my movie for the film club, the next pick for my film club that I have to come and talk about. So I said I really have to like lock in and really get thoughts. But at the end of the day, I think I'm just going to talk about this movie. First of all, if you do not know who I am, my name is VDK. I make movie bingo cards, and you can find all my movie bingo cards on vdkfilmclub.substack.com. I also talk about movies. So now that that's out of the way, let's just get into this movie. I will talk about this movie in general. So spoilers ahead. If you haven't watched it, please go and watch it. Or wait, I can't. You can't say that I'm the one that recommended you to watch this movie. Watch it if you want to watch it, but that is up to you. Now let's just get into it. This movie, are we not over the storylines of a sensible girl with her plans meets a boy that is more reckless and is more just like occasionally even breaking the law? Like, you just meet a boy when, like, the same day or the next day, and suddenly he's kicking down doors like the gate to retire, breaking and entering places. And in the real world, in real life, wouldn't you go, this person is a creep? Why am I following this stranger in a foreign city through a broken and entered gate, and I'm just following him into a tight corner where only two of us are? We're in this car or like mobile car, whatever that they are, hanging off in the air. In real life, this is alarm bells are ringing, alarm warnings are flying. But in this movie, and especially like in movies, in romance movies, I guess it's just what it's supposed to be romantic. I guess how, I still don't know. Well, aren't we tired of of that as a storyline? The revelation at the end that his character has cancer. Are we not tired? Are we not tired? How many times are we actually going to see this? If the romance people don't know what to tell us again, they should let us know. And what is particularly so sad is that this movie is adapted from a book. And you can tell because there are good lines in this movie. You can tell that, I'm sure that if you read this, it probably works more as a book than it does a movie. And you can tell because there are good lines in this film. However, I don't know if it's the way that the actors are delivering the lines. I don't know if it's the pacing. This, first of all, as a movie, I almost fell asleep. It was kind of boring to me. I'm not going to hold you. Like, it was kind of boring. But then let's move beyond that. The fact that he now has cancer. So sorry, I don't have lights in here. I forgot to even bring my lights because I just finished watching the video and I just had to get into it. So I'm just talking to you straight to camera. Let's get into it. Or let's keep talking. You see the end where he now has cancer. Are we not tired? This is like, because I just watched my Oxford year not too long ago. This movie, I was just remembering my Oxford year. I was remembering the other myriad of romance movies that I've seen that have very similar plots. Please, to anybody watching, being sensible and making plans is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. I don't know what the romance is. Do you know what is also reminding me of Materialist? There's another thing that I see that is happening where it's almost like we're just telling people that, oh, go with the choices that are like, because I think she even says, oh, they've run out of Victor's money. So now they're kind of living off of the boys' money, but they don't really know. And it's like she's now second guessing her job as in the bank. And it's like the banking job is giving me money, but then even her father is like, go where your heart is, go where the heart is, go with passion. And I'm like, sometimes romance movies are so distant from real life because the real issues that we see in real life as adults with people that we know are things like money do become issues in relationships. plans, and some people like that are making plans, a lot of the people that I know that are planners complain that sometimes it feels like their counterparts are not planners. It seems like they just kind of like go with the flow, and in sometimes and in some very relevant ways, especially when children are in the picture. I guess in this movie they're not children, but especially when like real life happens or you just really need them to show up. Sometimes this go with the flow, I'm just adventurous, I don't think about the future. They don't make very good partners in real life in the long run. So I don't even know what this obsession with romance movies trying to get people to go with the less quote unquote sensible choices as some kind of like go with your heart, go with the wind. Just do what is that? Is it some kind of agenda? And also, are we not tired? Because I sure am tired. I don't even know what to say. This movie, let me go look through my notes. Okay, looking through my notes, I wanted to talk about how they almost got arrested, when they woke up in the ride thing, like in the cab ride, in the, I don't know what that thing is called, where like the ride that is hung up to ropes in the sky, wherever the name is. So when they wake up there and, they almost get arrested, I'm like, this is a boy you just met that night or like the day before or like 2 days, like we just within 2 days. I don't remember quite the timeline. But you've almost gotten arrested. This boy has done breaking and entering. The next time too that we see him, I think he goes to get her friend Amy's passport from the guy that steals it from her. And then when they get the passport, he also sees money in the guy's house and he steals the money. So you also know that this is a boy that's comfortable with stealing. Again, in the real world, these are red flags. Like that if my sister was telling me or my friend was telling me, I would be like, run from that man. But again, in romance movies, it's supposed to be this thing that's like I don't know. I don't even know what their agenda is with these types of movies. So I also wrote that there's a moment when he hurts his shoulder and when he goes riding with the bulls. And she's like, this is stupid. What you're doing is stupid. And I'm like, so you do have the sense to know that what this boy is doing is stupid. You do have the sense to know that maybe this boy is acting irrational. And you're still here. Not only are you still here, you're still pining over this man. When does common sense kick in? Your family, your friends, they don't seem to really be asking the questions that need to be asked. Because if my sister, again, I keep saying, or my friend was on holiday in a foreign country, and this is the man that she's with, and she's telling me all this stories, I'll be like, are you okay, girl? Are you sure this is the man you want to be with during this your trip? Then, when ultimately he ghosts her in the airport, I was like, why are you surprised? Even minutes before, when you ask him outside on the street, where you're asking him like, you never talk about the future, and this man is fully telling you, I don't like to plan for the future. I don't like to talk about the future. So why are we still surprised by the act? Are we this movie? Because when she goes to him, I'm like, how are you even surprised by what he did? Because everything that you've seen up until this moment will tell you that this boy is a person that probably goes through. He's not a person that is kind of looking to be grounded or trying to really plan. And you are a planner. So why have you been here for as long as you have been? Another thing I wanted to talk about from my notes, and this is more like just at least conversation starters that this movie brings. It's like closure and what to do with that. Because, she has a conversation with her father about how did you deal with mom leaving us? And, the father is like, I knew that it wasn't about you or me. It was about her. And just speaking about that, and this is me speaking about closure now. I think this movie kind of gets it right in some ways, at least in doing that conversation. And at that point where they talk about closure and like, I don't even think they explicitly say, but basically with closure, sometimes you just will never get it. And I think this is just me talking to you that you can't really sometimes get hung up on why somebody left or why somebody didn't show up or why my best friend just suddenly disappeared. Sometimes I think the father says it is you take the good, you appreciate the friendship for what it was or the relationship for what it was, you take the lessons that you learned, you take the good times and you hold those close to your heart. And then you cherish those things. The person that they are now that would ghost you or that would do this thing or leave you like this in the dust. It's not a person that you really want that person around. That can be your friend. That can be the person that you loved. The person that you loved wouldn't do that. And obviously in this movie now we see that it was because he had cancer and there's other reasons. But again, this is this movie doing this movie. But in real life, sometimes it ghosting, you don't really need the answer because what is the answer really going to do for you? The answer is in what the person did. The answer is in the actions. It's in the evidence you need or any closure that you need is in how that person treated you. A person that you've known for years that will just up and leave without any explanation, that is the closure. Like that is who that person is. There's nothing more to know. You hold on to the good moments, you appreciate the friendship that you had, or the relationship that you had, and you just move on. I think that's one conversation piece about this movie that I would say at least that came up that I was like, okay, let's talk about closure. And that's just my own thoughts on closure. In this movie, of course, she then goes to find him in one dancing celebration or some kind of festival thing because she remembers a quotation that they talked about, or she sees it in some way. She goes there, she sees him, they lock lips, and the movie ends. Romance movies, as I said, if people don't know what to tell us, let us know so we will all move on. I will just go and keep watching my horrors, I will keep watching my mysteries, I will keep watching my thrillers that clearly have something to tell me. Because if the romance stories have finished, let us just know. I don't have much more to say about this movie. I think this will be my shortest video till date, because to be very honest, I don't know what to say about this movie. The movie is a hodgepodge of romance story tropes. Watch it if you want to. I wouldn't really say that I recommend this movie, but I guess it is worth watching because I believe every single movie is worth watching. If you loved it or you had thoughts, or maybe there's something that I'm missing that will really just connect my brain and really go, oh, this is a masterpiece, then let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I guess until the next movie, because I don't know what else to say. Romance writers and romance filmmakers, let us know. Have the stories finished? Because that should be the headline. Is there any? Maybe we are all out. We've run out. So just tell us so that we all know. If you want the bingo card for this movie or any future bingo cards, they are all available on my Substack, vdkfilmclub.substack.com. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you when I talk about the next movie. Bye.